Hello everyone, this is Nick. This time I received an order from Germany to make a board featuring a triggerfish. The client requested inlays made from various types of wood and provided a sample image, so I thought it would be a relatively simple project. But I was totally wrong. When I received the vector file and prepared the model to send for approval, I just didn't like it. The issue wasn't in how it was drawn, it was simply that I wasn't happy with the result, and that's a terrible feeling. Let me know in the comments if you experience this too, where the moment you call something easy, it instantly becomes challenging. So I kept adjusting the design, adding or removing colors, and considering which version would look best and which types of wood to use. All the while, I had to keep in mind the limitations of my bit size. In the end, preparing the design took me a bit more than a month, and once again I realized that my clients are the best and most patient. A big thank you to all of them. After making around 15 edits and adjustments to the original design and selecting all the types of wood I would use, I finally sent the design for approval. I immediately received approval and the go-ahead to start making the board. For this project, I'll be using walnut for the baseboard and maple, gum, yellow heart, locust, cherry, and dark cherry for the inlays, making a total of 6 types of wood. The first inlay will be made from American hard white maple. I love this wood and the contrast it creates when paired with walnut. As usual, I start with a 1/8 inch end mill bit, and then switch to a 12.4 degree V bit. The link to the bits I'm using is in the video description. The first inlay is cut and cleaned up, and of course I'll do a dry fit without glue to make sure it fits perfectly. About 12 hours after the board has dried, I trim the excess from the inlay and cut a new pocket for the next layer. By the way, I use a 1/4 inch end mill upcut bit for trimming the inlay. This doesn't take much time and there's a very low chance of chipping. The whole process takes about 5 minutes. The next layer is made from yellow heart. There's not much to comment on here. The process just repeats layer by layer. Just sit back and enjoy. I also love watching videos like this or watching my machines carve something. The next inlay is made from cherry. The next inlay is made from dark cherry. The more layers I glue in, the more I love the design and the types of wood I chose for this project. Now it's time to glue in the locust wood. And the final layer is gum. It has a texture similar to maple, but it's lighter in color. The board is almost finished. All that's left is to mill a juice groove, sand up to 400 grit, and then soak it in mineral oil. My favorite and most satisfying part of making boards is applying the first layer of mineral oil. Look at how the wood grain comes to life. It's amazing. I love this step, and you can see that all the inlays fit perfectly, just the way I like it. I also decided to make a stand to go with the board. The client didn't order it, but I thought it would be a perfect addition to the piece. I cut the stand on the CNC, sanded it, and engraved my logo in the center using an X-Tool CO2 laser, link in the description. The piece doesn't have to be perfectly aligned in the machine, as everything is easily adjusted in the software. Five minutes and the center section is done. For the legs, I decided to generate a design with fish and coral. This is all available in the X-Tool software, so the designs on the two legs will be different and unique. This process took a bit longer because I increased the resolution. Each leg took about 10 to 15 minutes to engrave. Here's how the design looks on the first leg right after engraving. After I sand it by hand, it will be a bit lighter. The second leg is done, and now it's time to apply the oil and do a second test assembly with the finish. I think it turned out great. Ever since I got a laser in my workshop, I've been using it frequently for these smaller projects. The stand assembles and disassembles very easily. The centerpiece that connects the legs works like a spring and holds them well. By the way, this file and many others are available on my website. The board is ready for shipping, and I'm completely satisfied with the result. The board itself, the quality of the inlays, and the stand that complements it beautifully. Thank you all for watching, liking, and commenting. If you enjoy my content, I'd be happy to have you subscribe.